Hi, my name is Benjamin Katz, and welcome back to the 48 State Donut Review, where today I'm at Winter Bakery and Deli in Winter, South Dakota, trying the two donuts, Cherry Bomb and Bear Claw. Now, I know Bear Claw is not technically speaking a donut in the traditional sense, but it is a pastry made with donut-adjacent dough, so I'm going to give it a pass, because I also really wanted a Bear Claw this morning. Let's get started with the Cherry Bomb. This is a cherry-flavored standard yeast donut. Sorry, cake donut. They also have yeast donuts at this bakery, but I decided to go for the cake donut today. That's just the kind of morning I'm feeling. You know, in all my decades of intensive donut reviewing, I don't think I've experienced a donut that has a pink core much like this one. The cherry flavoring isn't all that upfront, as naturally the donut and the batter is going to formulate most of the flavor, most of the texture and the mouthfeel. The glaze is imparting that kind of crusty mouthfeel on the upper palate that I don't really love. But it is certainly it's able to be overcome just by continuing to eat the donuts. I think that's one of my favorite parts about donuts, actually, is that the more you eat them, the more you want to eat them, and then by the time you're done, you still want to eat more donuts. There is really no end to the hunger that a donut imparts, and it's just wonderful that way. Yeah, this cherry flavoring really isn't the strongest. It's alright, I guess. I would love it if the donut crumbled a little bit more, actually, though. I am getting a good amount of crumbs that are spilling down onto my little self-made tray here. But something I love about donuts is that they really get everywhere. I want this to go all over my car, all over my clothes. I don't want to stop finding crumbs. So why this isn't crumbling as much? I don't know. Most donuts usually do that, and I'm quite upset that this one is not. But I've only eaten half this donut, and I already feel like I've had a full meal. So let's move over to the Bear Claw before I get so full that I can't eat anymore. This should be good. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, they really developed the gluten in this Bear Claw. It is tangible just how much you're chewing to get through each bite. And even tearing a bite off the Bear Claw is a bit of a struggle in itself. My teeth are starting to fatigue. I can feel them softening a little bit with the sheer amount of effort that I'm going through to consume this Bear Claw. And while the flavor is delicious, mind you, it is a simple chocolate and vanilla glaze, right? So it's not going to be the most complicated of flavors. You're really just going to be tasting that sweet dough and that sweet topping over all of it. I think the Bear Claw as a whole doesn't have the most appeal to me. I love the way that it looks like a Bear Claw and that it's going to maul me to death in a moment, especially with the caloric intake and the sugar and fat. I'll probably die by my 40s anyway. But the fact that the Bear Claw has this shape and this vibe, it overcomes the deficiencies that I see in this otherwise unique pastry. Okay, now it's time for my favorite part, the stack. We'll see if I can get these two in my mouth at the same time. It should be a bit difficult though. So let's give it a shot. No. You know, I looked up recently, and over the course of 32 states that I've traveled through, I've been to over 125 donut shops, which is hard to believe, but yeah, I mean, if I'm reviewing like 3 donuts a week, or 6 donuts per shop, 2 donuts per shop, I suppose, it's a lot of donuts, and I must say, in my time reviewing donuts, these have to be some of the best ones I've experienced, right? They have that cakiness, they have that donutiness, they have that chew and that texture that surrounds flour. It's hard to sort of say that the flour they're using is better than other flour that people are using, because, you know, ultimately all flour is pretty much the same, right? You can say, oh, baking flour is different, it has higher protein. It's flour. Don't kid yourself. But they seem to be doing something unique with this flour that I love. It has this weedy, grassy, almost bovine experience where I can be a grazing animal consuming this wheat-based product. I'm sure these are not vegan. I'm sure they have dairy and whatnots in them. Although I don't want to stray too close to dairy. As everyone here knows, I do dislike ice cream on the whole. The entire product category just doesn't make sense to me. I would prefer something that is wheat-based and preferably can go without giving me brain freeze or without this strange quality of ice cream that sort of coats your mouth. The only mouth coating I want is that of a sugary film that makes my saliva sticky. That's the mouth coating I want, not that of ice cream. Ugh. But I digress. The bite of the two together was a perfect combination of cakey and gluten-y. And it gave the cherry bomb a bit of that bite that I really enjoy. And if you'll note, the crumb of the bear claw is wonderful. It's not homogeneous. We have the different sized air pockets, but still maintaining a consistency within them. And you can really tell that the gluten was developed properly. Take that in comparison with the crumb of the cakey donut, and you'll see very large air holes and this inconsistency on the size of the crumb, which is something you would expect from a cake flour with lower protein content. The two donuts together were about $3.75, which is as cheap as you can get for donuts. Although there was a 4% surcharge for using a credit card. So if you're a regular here, I would advise using cash, because it'll save up over time. Especially since if you live here, why would you not go here every day? They serve some wonderful donuts, and they also have a deli as well, where you can get lunch and whatnot. They have a daily special they do. It's a good vibe. It's a good place. It has a friendly atmosphere, and the interior is eclectic. The exterior looks fun, and like the graphics were made in like the 80s and weren't updated, which I don't actually hate. In a lot of instances, I think modern design has gone too far and swung the pendulum beyond what an average consumer would think is good. They keep it simple at Winter Bakery. A frosted donut and good service. But I guess that brings me to my closing thoughts. Winter Bakery is one of the prime examples of a proper donut shop. They're serving good, cheap donuts with good customer service and good quality. And while their options aren't vegan, I don't want them to be vegan. They're not trying to be ice cream. Ugh. They're trying to be donuts. Pure, simple, delicious donuts that are arguably, and in my correct opinion, the best possible dessert and treat, snack, savory or sweet, to ever exist. So if you're in Winter, South Dakota, stop by Winter Bakery. Because this is, in fact, and I hate to be cliche, a winner. If you like these donuts and want to see more donuts, consider donuts. Or go to donuts.com for more on the journey.